I want you people to hear the National Public Radio take on the Tea Party. Once you understand the modus operandi of the left, the instinctive demonization of all those whom they oppose, everything becomes so transparent and so vile. I have lost my patience, and I try not to because my show is known for its calm demeanor, but I really, internally, I've lost patience with the left. There are very many nice people who share views that the left holds, but leftism is a mean-spirited way of approaching life. I want you to think about this question. Can you name a powerful conservative force or individual whom the mainstream left have not declared either stupid or evil? I cannot. Began with the psychiatrists, thousands. Was it thousands or 1,200? I think 1,200, I don't remember. Saying Barry Goldwater was mentally disturbed. Every single one of them should have been removed from the practice of psychiatry. And it continues. Ronald Reagan, see, people now, today, Reagan, even liberals, Reagan is a good guy, What they said at the time, the man was a buffoon to them. It was didn't he have a movie, Bedtime for Bonzo? Yeah. So he was declared basically to be Bonzo. Was the monkey. It was a chimpanzee, yeah. It happens to every one of us. Glenn Beck is in Israel. LA Times is an article about how he's an anti-Semite. So the man who has gone out on such a limb on behalf of the Jewish state is an anti-Semite because the left hates the right. And since he's on the right, he must be evil. Listen to the NPR take on the Tea Party. Was this broadcast yesterday? Okay, go. Now, let's introduce who was talking here. On Monday nights, All Things Considered, on National Public Radio, anchor Robert Siegel followed up a story on the new Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. with an interview with a, quote, longtime civil rights activist, recent NAACP Chairman Julian Bond. Siegel omitted any reference to any of Bond's splenetic rages against conservatives, but instead invited him to denounce the Tea Party as racist. So let's hear this.
Some people read into the Tea Party's almost neuralgic reaction to government spending.
Wait, what does that mean? I don't understand the term. What does that mean, almost neuralgic? Like headachy? Okay, fine. So it's almost a physical reaction? Is that what he's trying to say? All right, continue, please.
Some people read into the Tea Party's almost neuralgic reaction to government spending a sense that white people figure black people benefit disproportionately from federal programs. Do you suspect a racial subtext to that whole
Now, hold on. This is the dishonesty here. It drips from every word. For some people, see, that's an excuse. Not me. Oh, no, me, Robert Siegel, I would never think that about the Tea Party, but some people do. And he's asking this of the former head of the NAACP who won't watch a black and white movie. Let's go.
Absolutely, and I'm not saying that all of the Tea Party members are racist, not at all. I don't think anybody says that. No. But I think there's an element of racial animus there, and the feeling that some white people have that these black people are now getting something that I'm not getting, and I should be getting it too.
Ah. That's it. There you go. So they're not all racist individually, but the animating spirit is racist. What are blacks getting that whites don't get? The theory here is that what animates the whites at the Tea Party, and what Tea Party gatherings are overwhelmingly white, is that what is animating is that they resent that so many blacks get welfare. I presume, that's what he's saying. No, I don't think it, huh? No, well, yeah, that's a very good point you're making. No, who envies people for that? They're getting, black people are now getting something that I'm not getting, and I should be getting it too. No, they don't want to get anything. See, the selfishness that is at the essence, there's a narcissism at the essence of leftism, even though they couch it in altruistic jargon. Gimme, I have a right. I'm entitled. It's so deep within them that they can't imagine that what animates the right is not, I want it too. No, we don't want anything. That's the point, which you can't understand, Robert Siegel, and you can't understand Julian Bond. You do not, we understand you perfectly. You do not understand us at all. We don't want anything from the government. That's the difference. But because your thing is so entitlement, give me oriented, you assume that that is the right-wing view. We'll continue.
This is what the Republican Party stands for, though. Racism.
What you just heard is what an NPR listener is inundated with, and thinks, the average NPR listener thinks that he or she is getting objective news. The slant in what I just played for you is so obvious. The disingenuousness, the mendacity, the bias. I mean, they're so thick that you have to be on the left to think that you are getting objective news when you hear this. For the NPR host to ask the racism is under every rock former head of the NAACP, whether he thinks, do you suspect a racial subtext to that whole argument? He makes up an argument. He makes up a lie about the Tea Party. There is not one shred of evidence that there is the slightest racial animating element to the Tea Party positions. There isn't the slightest. And yet they go and they claim it. We do live in an age where, because the media are all left of center with very, very few exceptions, obviously talk radio being the biggest single exception, but we're not a news medium as such. We are a commentary on the news medium. But where people fool you into having you think you're getting the news objectively, it is all left of center, and it is all an echo chamber. There's not the slightest racist element or racial element to Tea Party positions. The desire to have small government is utterly unrelated to black or white issues. It may have ramifications for X number of blacks, X number of whites, X number of Latinos, X number of Asians. That's a separate issue. So if there were no blacks in the United States, there would be no Tea Party. They would allow for the trillions of dollars of debt. Then it would be okay. Is that what you fools at NPR believe? But they don't have a different voice at NPR, so it's irrelevant. They sit with their mellifluous tones and massage each other with delusions of objective truth. But you saw the bias of the NPR leadership. Remember that, how that came out? And of course, it's funded by you and me. I have to fund this. Play it again, because the more you hear it, the more vile it becomes. I mean, there are honest people on the left who have to acknowledge that this thing is beyond the pale. This is Robert Siegel interviewing recent NAACP Chairman Julian Bond.
Some people read into the Tea Party's almost neuralgic reaction to government spending, a sense that white
By the way,
people
is there a neuralgic reaction on behalf of government spending on the part of the left? You think he would ask a Democrat? You know, some people think there's a neuralgic, an almost neuralgic reaction on the part of the left to government spending, on behalf of government spending. You think he would ever ask that question? No, because whatever the left wants is normative. What the right wants is extreme. That's what everybody on the left believes. We are not really, we're not even leftists. We are centrists. They're the extremists. And do you know why? Because it's said enough times by the media, therefore it is. Start Mr. Siegel again.
Some people read into the Tea Party's almost neuralgic reaction to government spending, a sense that white people figure black people benefit disproportionately from federal programs. Do you suspect a racial subtext to that whole argument?
Absolutely, and I'm not saying that all of the Tea Party members are racist, not at all. I don't think anybody says that. But I think there's an element of racial animus there, and the feeling that some white people have that these black people are now getting something that I'm not getting.
Well, wait a minute. Even the answer is not honest. If they're not racist, what is the element of racial animus that animates the Tea Party? I don't get it. So what is it, Mr. Bond? Is it 20% of the Tea Party is not racist, 40%, 60%? So racism animates their position in part, but they're not. But nobody's saying they're all racist. So I assume you think most of them are racist. Not all, just most. And of course that's what they believe. Of course. That way you never have to deal with any right-wing idea, never. Six-herb, sexist, intolerant, xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, racist, bigoted. That's it. That's all you need to know when you're a good lefty. Six-herb, right-wing, six-herb. Folks, I went to Columbia University. The lack of thought on the left is overwhelming. It is almost all emotion. And the emotion that counts is we hate the right. Danger on the right, and now you are a member of the leftist club. That's all you need to know. You don't actually have to know economics. You don't actually have to know world history. Ask the average Harvard student. How many did Mao kill? Okay? Versus all the details about Israeli settlements on the West Bank. Mao killed 75 million. The West Bank is the size of a large ranch in Australia. You're listening to the Dennis Prager Show.
Sexist, intolerant,
xenophobic,
homophobic,
Islamophobic,
racist,
bigoted.